Hi everyone, my name is Robert. I decided to make a video as a response to the Apex potential program change update that has been posted on the Apex website. And I want to discuss about three things in particular. Firstly, the status quo, the current state of Apex and the issues it's facing. Then the potential program changes that we might see in the future, and how Apex is trying to balance this to find a common ground between not getting scammed and helping traders become their best self. And the final part would be my response, feedback, or suggestions to these ideas. Um, as you are aware, Apex is trying to create a clear communication line between themselves and the community, and they decided to present the issues they're facing and ask the community for their input with regards to the specific problems they're facing. In the videos posted on Apex on their website, they talk about the fact that a lot of people are trying to scam Apex with various strategies and tactics, taking advantage of the fact that you can DCA into positions. They're treating the Apex money not in the same way as they would their own live accounts. So that's a big problem because people are just taking advantage of the fact that they can access a 2.5k. I'll speak for the 50k accounts example, with $102 for, let's say, a 90% discount plus the monthly subscription fee. You can access a account that gives you a 2.5k loss limit basically. And if you gamble your way through taking some certain type of trades that Apex presented us in their videos, I won't go into much details about these tactics because that's not the point of this video. If you want to find out more about how people are scamming or taking advantage of Apex's system, you can find so by watching the 2 hour long videos just as I did on their website. But the point I'm trying to get at is that Apex has to walk a thin line between getting scammed and being fair to the hardworking traders on their platform. They do want to create the best environment for people to thrive while trading, and they presented some really good changes that we could benefit from in the future. But at the same time, they're afraid that a lot of scammers would try to take advantage of this, how they did until now. So their response with regards to imposing stricter rules or enforcing the rules that they already have, they noticed that a lot of people in the community started complaining. And just as it was mentioned in the videos on the website, most of these people that I presume are, or I assume are complaining, are people that can no longer take advantage of the system. And so by imposing or enforcing these rules more strictly, Apex is now faced with a lot of bad mouthing, bad publicity, a whole whirlwind of negative responses, so to say. And I think this is both a good and a bad thing at the same time because bad publicity is still publicity, and from Apex's point of view, a lot more people will find out about them, even though there will always be people that will try to steal um, their clientele or just steal their business. Apex should not worry about this because the proof is in the pudding. At the same time, I would like to mention that some of their moves, even though are helping some traders, and I'm talking about moves such as the 1 day pass or the 90% discounts. The 90% discounts are really good. A lot of traders should take advantage of them and are taking advantage of them, but at the same time, a lot of people are taking advantage of them in a bad way. But these type of things, from my perspective, I believe they promote gambling, and increase the probability of people being reckless with their accounts, with the money, with trading in general, messes with people's risk management, messes with people idea of, it's only $20 or $17 for a 50K account. If I don't pass this one, I can just buy another one, and people do that. But at the forefront of trading, I think Apex could do better by supporting traders, supporting people, or supporting aspects of trading that are the hardest to achieve, and that's discipline, consistency, and all of these things. And I think it's a bit of a mismatch with the fact that they offer this discounts and one day passes with how people actually make use of them. Because let's imagine for a gambler having this discounts and passes, one day passes, it's like a cheap entry for a big winner. And at the same time, for a professional trader, it's a much easier way to get 20 accounts. So I think even though it helps, it's a sword that cuts two ways, like as they say. But with the suggestions that I have, I think this can be targeted only for people that are putting in the hard work. Let's go over what Apex proposed as solutions or changes for the future. So we could get rid of the flipping rule. Instead of having 10 days and be allowed to have 2 days of flipping contracts, they are thinking of getting rid of that and just having 8 days of trading and getting rid of the flipping rule. That's a good idea. What if we get rid of the 30% consistency rule and instead change that with a 40% consistency rule that's clear and cut? So for example, both problems that are presented here, both with the flipping rule and the consistency rule, they leave a lot of room for interpretation for the staff of Apex to interpret. So instead of having clear cut rules, if you go over 40% in one trade, you can't withdraw, you can't submit for withdrawal. They have to negotiate or talk with people and see if, I did this, I did not, let's review, let's go through all this. And this is time consuming. Imagine if you have 5,000 and withdrawals, and out of those 5,000 withdrawals, 20% are like this. This is going to take a long time to go through. So in order to make things a bit more straightforward, they're thinking of replacing these rules with other rules. So for example, instead of the 30% consistency, go 40%, but straight and cut. If you have one day above 40%, you either have to increase your balance or you have to get another couple of days with the same amount of money. The withdrawal period right now, it's until the 4th month. They're thinking of making that shorter. So instead of having to wait 3 months before you can withdraw all of the money in your account, you can wait only by the end of the 2nd month or by the beginning of the 3rd month. That's also beneficial, and that's part of the discussion that Apex was trying to start, and that's based on the idea that a lot of people are finding ways around the fact that the first 20K are free, and after that Apex will get 10% of your future withdrawals, and a lot of people just prefer to flip accounts or PAs to avoid that 10% tax. And that's something that they're trying to incentivize people not to do, because it's a contract between them and good traders. I personally don't know where I'm situated on this aspect of the conversation, but I'll move forward. Another aspect they're trying to change is having withdrawals request dates every day. So instead of waiting for those 2 periods in the month between the 1st and the 5th, and or the 15th and the 20th, not remember how there, you can request a withdrawal every day of the month. And that's really good because, for example, let's say you got rid of the flipping rule, you have 8 trading days, you are under the 40% consistency rule, you can get a payout much faster, much sooner if you're a consistently profitable trader. So that's a really good idea, and I support that. At times we do one day pass, but when not, the standard is 7 trading days. What if we change that to 5 days? Again, good ideas. And I think they would help some people, but we have to be careful how we tread this line. And I will go much further in depth when I go over my suggestions. So let's move forward. I like the fact that they are enforcing the rules better now, because for a trader like me that refined his edge over time, incurred losses, went through ups and downs, had to find my psychological balance, had to just improve every day to become a better trader. It's rewarding for me to see that Apex takes it seriously when other people that didn't work as hard as I did or as others did are just finding ways to work the system and take advantage of Apex's money, and at the end of the day our money, because we as traders, we're paying for those subscriptions, for those evals, and this money just ends up in the hands of the wrong people. And I'm really glad that they're enforcing the rules now, because it wasn't fair. If you look into the videos that Apex has posted, you will see what I refer to, because those scams are just mind-blowing, and it's an easy way to just focus on doing that instead of working for real, and that's also a possibility. But this channel is not about scams, it's about real trading, so let's focus on that from now on. At the same time, I believe that real traders that actually have an edge, that are disciplined, that know how to manage risk, they won't suffer by Apex imposing these rules, because they won't be affected by it. As you probably saw by now, if you had a payout or not, if you know people that have a payout, people that actually trade well and are good people and they don't try to scam the system, they often get a lot of leeway, and Apex is really understanding towards them and try to find a common ground with them. And if they make a mistake, they're lenient with that. So I believe that people that trade for real will prosper with Apex in the future. Now comes the last part of the video, and this is my favorite part, because we can talk about my suggestions and how I think Apex should approach this problem. First and foremost, let me say that I really like the fact that they went ahead and tried to get the input from the community and asked for our opinion, and that's me trying to give my opinion. This is me trying to give my opinion. I think that's wise of them, and it's a tactic that a lot of successful companies implement, and I think that companies that don't implement this tactic are having a hard time growing. But props to them, kudos to them for this. So the biggest takeaway point from me is that they could have a gamification system based on Apex that would allow people with good records, proven systems that are not scammers or anything like that. So for example, if you're a real trader, if you have an edge, if you follow some rules, if you have a stop loss, if you trade as traders do, based on your progress, you could access certain benefits. And this is a parallel with, for example, how Elon Musk manages to get his money rewards based on the milestones he achieves with Tesla or a startup. For example, if you go and try to raise funding with a startup, you'll have some milestones, and based on your progress with achieving those milestones, you'll be able to access more of the capital that the investors allocated you. So I think this idea would work with us and in our contract between Apex and traders, because think about it. Let's say you're a good trader, and let's say you have the capacity or the chance to access 90% discount and a 1-day pass. Or let's not go into the 1-day pass. Let's just say you have the possibility to get a 90% discount. If you have the possibility to buy unlimited 90% discounts, you're just going to take advantage, you're going to go crazy, you're not going to value the money. But let's say if you pass that, you have the chance to buy another 90%. And let's say if you pass that as well, you have the chance to pass it in 1 day. So you've proven 2 times that you can make money in 7 days, or 10 days, 10 days, and now you have the chance to unlock a new feature. Yeah, I think this is killing two birds with one stone, because you would both get rid of the people with bad intentions, and you would reward people with good intentions and good habits and a good work ethic. At the same time, no, at the same time. Another issue that was discussed by Apex was the fact that people do not leave a safety net, and they would interfere and try to find a rule to change this thing. But I think this is not something that they should do. They should not force people into leaving a pad on their accounts, because their problem is that people get to the 2,600 point, they take out 2,000 and they leave 600 pad on their accounts. And most often than not, that's not enough for you to grow that account back and to consistently withdraw with that account from that point onwards. Because you don't have many chances of failing. You don't have many chances of doing a mistake. So they want to incentivize people to have a PA for a longer period of time, so they could also take advantage of the 90-10% rule. So after 25k, they take 10%. Hear me out. What if you have a eval, you pay 90% for it, you pass it, you make 3k, but then that eval automatically, if you pay the subscription, it transforms into an PA, and you have that 3k left in the account, and it's always there. If you lose that 3k pad, you lose the PA. But what you make above that 3k, so you have 53k in the account, what you earn above that, you can cash out. So let's say you make 4k, you still cash out 2k 2 times a month. Let's say you make 1k, you want to cash out 1k, you can cash out 1k. But that 53 account balance will always remain there. So it doesn't matter how much you make, you are limited to the withdrawals for the first period of time. Depends how Apex decides that will be. But that 3k pad remains on your account. This is also a good idea that kills two birds with one stone. What do you think about it? Comment down below if you agree or not. Okay, another thing that is bugging me is the fact that we have to trade with the trailing threshold. And this imposes some serious limitation on our trading style, because the trailing threshold means that if you have unrealized profits and you lose those profits, your threshold goes up. So if you want to day trade or hold the trade for longer periods of time, by the time the medium time frame market structure changes and shows you that price is not trending anymore, price is reversing, you're going to have an inside day, whatnot, you're already going to lose a big chunk of that unrealized profit. So this trailing threshold incentivizes people to be aggressive scalpers. And I know in the videos posted, Apex was complaining about the fact that one of the scamming strategies is aiming for 5 ticks and having the account as a stop loss. But the trailing threshold does that, or plays a part in that. So people will always try to take profit aggressively. And that's one aspect of trading with Apex. Other prop firms like Topstep, where you have like a 1k daily drawdown limit, you can leave runners with that one. It doesn't matter if you're 2k in profit and you close for 1k in profit, you won't be subjected to having 2 or 3 mistakes left in the account. So that's bad, because if you win, you still are not winning with a trailing threshold. You're still having to play with a lower account balance left. So that's also something that wasn't really discussed by Apex. They said that they believe this type of trailing threshold is the least intrusive in a trader's account. I beg to disagree. I don't have a solution for this or a suggestion, but this is also something I wanted to touch upon in this video. Also, another thing that I think is overlooked is the fact that on a 50K account, you can trade with 10 mini contracts. That's insane. So you're allowed to risk the account in one trade. Most often than not, because of the trailing threshold, you will lose if you enter a 10 contract trade, because you might be 1.5K in profit and then it just goes against you. And that happens in, I don't know, in 15 ticks, 10 ticks on ES, and a bit more on the NQ. Like this is like something that promotes gambling and shouldn't be allowed, especially combined with the fact that you have 90% discounts and 1 day passes. Like the combination with 10 mini contracts, it's just asking for people to blow accounts. And I think this is something that, from my perspective, if I would have the opportunity to choose, I would choose to only be allowed to trade with one contract most of the time, maximum 3. But most of the times I lost with Apex was because I overtraded or used a bigger size than I should have. And I didn't respect my risk management. I took some losses. I wanted to make the losses back. I increased the position size and so on and so forth. So this is also something that, yeah, they're complaining, but they're also incentivizing at the same time, the people from Apex. And I think this is the fine line that we're discussing, because at the same time, they're attracting scammers or people that want to gamble, but they don't want to, or they claim they don't want to. So there are solutions around it, but some changes have to be made. And I didn't hear about these things being discussed in the potential program changes. But yeah, they also talked about having 20 accounts, and I think this is the best aspect of Apex ever. I'm in Romania. I can't trade Top Step in Romania. I would have, just because I was curious to see how the rules work with my trading style. But when I heard you can only have a couple accounts or 2 or 3 accounts, that's something that from the get-go made me not want to try Top Step and made me want to stick with Apex. Because if you get to a point where you're consistent, you get your risk management under control, you get your psychology under control, having 20 accounts and making 200 a day, man, it's the easiest thing in the world. It's like you just have to trade one trade with one contract on ES and on NQ and get 10 points and you're done for the day. And that's usually offered in the first half an hour on New York Open. And yeah, that's so straightforward, so easy. And yeah, to avoid flipping, that's another point. So another point in this discussion was to avoid flipping contracts. They were thinking of, instead of having 10 days with the possibility of having 2 days flipped, they get rid of that. They only allow you 8 days of trading, but you have to have 4 days out of those 8 days with $150 in profit or in loss. And this is an interesting idea that goes hand in hand with the 40% or 20% rule. Because if you have a trading day that's above 600 on a 50K account, that means that you have to increase your account balance so you can request a withdrawal. That also means that if you make more than 600 in a day, you will want to increase your account balance, therefore you will want to trade. So you will want to take advantage of the fact that you have to make 150 profit for that day or loss. And that's, I think, a good idea that could work. Yeah, let's see. So basically that was my 2 cents for this this topic. Not sure if anyone will see this video or watch this video, but if you do and you're a trader with Apex, please comment down below your opinion. What do you think is worth discussing further? What's your input? What's your feedback? I would like to hear from you. I would like to start a conversation in this topic, and who knows, maybe even Apex will watch this video at some point. Yeah, I doubt that, but yeah. Have a good one.